Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear brothers and sisters. Alhamdulillah for being in the month of Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of our ibadah ta'at that we are doing in this month and accept our fasting, inshallah. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to benefit from these last 10 days of Ramadan in the best way possible, inshallah. Inshallah, today we'll be going over some of the logistic sides of Hajj. And I do believe there's a lot of questions that people are asking, in terms of is Hajj going to be happening? Are we going on? Is it going to be continuing this year or not? So just want to start with that. First of all, the Hajj ministry, the Hajj and Umrah ministry, they have announced that they will be continuing, that they have up security as well. You're probably seeing videos as well on YouTube and so forth as well. So they'll upgrade up their security in the Haram and also in Medina Munawwara as well. So we do believe there is no reason why it wouldn't be going on. So I do believe Hajj, inshallah, will be continuing this year and that they should be starting the flights soon as well. So we'll be continuing on with our preparations as if it's going to be starting. We'll be continuing on and we'll be going through at the moment, we're going to be having our logistics seminar. Then we'll be having our next seminars in terms of spiritual preparations and how's Hajj performed, step-by-step Hajj guide. We'll be even having some medical advice as well, and different other programs. About like 6-7 seminars, inshallah, we'll be having before we end up going. And also you will be having once we set the groups, once the groups are all confirmed, then you'll be having one-on-one sessions with your group leaders as well, and them doing seminars one-on-one with you. So at the moment, we'll be doing more of a general one this time with our logistics side of it. And then inshallah, we'll be moving on to our spiritual preparations. Once it's about 2-3 weeks later, inshallah, we'll be getting ready for them as well. So those who haven't purchased yet, your probably question is, when's it going to open? There is no confirmed date yet. There was some rumors that it opened yesterday, but it did not happen. So obviously we didn't say anything. There was a lot of WhatsApp groups that were going around saying it's open. It was like 9 p.m., I think 10 p.m. yesterday. Nothing happened. It didn't open. They probably got it confused because that was open for the Saudi residents. So Saudi residents, they had their chance to, purchase their Hajj packages for the coming year. So that wasn't for us. That was for those who reside in Saudi only. So again, we're just waiting for official information that comes from Nusuk themselves. Once they fully notify us and let us know what's happening, then we'll let you know. So at the moment, we're just waiting. They haven't said anything that it's not going to happen or it's going to happen. They haven't said anything, so we're just waiting for that. If they officially announce that there's going to be a date or so, we will let you know, and then we can prepare for according to that. But I do believe there are people who join here today who still haven't purchased their package, but it's good that you have joined this seminar as well, because once you do purchase your package, you will need to know these things as well. So it's good that you've joined here. And those who have purchased their package, alhamdulillah, you have been successful and currently just waiting for that journey to happen, inshallah. So we do have about, I believe, probably just over 2 months to go. So inshallah, we'll get on with our seminar. Now, today we'll be going over, like I said, our logistics science. But first of all, we must start off with this ayat, Surah Al-Baqarah, ayat 197. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he states in the Quran, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. الحج أشهر معلومات فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج وما تفعل من خير يعلمه الله وتزودوا فإن خير الزاد التقوى واتقون يا أولي الألباب صدق الله العظيم. And the meaning to this ayat is very important for those who are going to perform Hajj. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states, Al-Hajj ashhurun ma'lumat. So the Hajj months, it is obvious, it is there for everyone to know. And these are Shawwal, Dhul Qa'dah, and Dhul Hijjah. So these are the 3 months that Hajj can be performed. So if you do know as well, so after the 15th of Shawwal, they actually close the doors for Umrah. So do not take anybody else that will be coming in to perform Umrah. After the 15th of Shawwal, they do not take anyone else, and there will only be Hajj pilgrimages coming after that. So after the 15th of Shawwal, they only accept people with Hajj visas after that point. And then around the 28th, 29th of Shawwal, they make sure all the pilgrims who have Umrah visas, they end up leaving only Hajj visa people inside. So Shawwal, Dhul Qa'dah, and Dhul Hijjah. These are the 3 months that Hajj is performed. More specifically, in Dhul Hijjah, which is the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th of Dhul Hijjah. These are the main 4 days that we do, the 3 days of the stoning, and obviously the day before that we do the Arafat on the 9th of Dhul Hijjah. These are the 4 days that we main perform our Hajj. And in continuation, so for us to, how do we prepare ourselves? What should we be careful of? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala even tells us this as well. He tells us how to get ready before going to Hajj. And He says, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فمن فرض فيهن الحج فلا رفث ولا فسوق ولا جدال في الحج. So those whom are intending to perform Hajj, the ones that you must avoid during the Hajj day, so those 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of Dhul Hijjah, these things that you should avoid is rafatha. Rafatha is sexual relations. So this might be even inappropriate speech or behavior. This is that's what Allah is saying, to avoid these things, to stay away from these kind of behaviors. So you must have a complete modesty and a purity during your Hajj days for this sake, for our Hajj journey. And then the other one is wala fusuga, which is fusuq, which means to stay away from sinful acts, which is lying, backbiting, insulting others, these kind of bad behaviors, to stay away from this and to make sure that you focus on yourself, focus on your own ibadat during these days. Of course, we should do this all the time, but specifically, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says with an ayat, so that you stay away from these kind of things during those Hajj days. And then wala jidala, which is stay away from arguments, disputes, fighting with people, causing problems, to stay away from these kind of things, to have sabr. So to make sure we have sabr throughout this whole journey. As you have probably known, there's a hadith that states that Hajj and Umrah, it's a hardship. So we don't expect a nice, smooth ride, and everything's going to happen on time. Buses are going to come on time, and flights, everything's nice and smooth. The hotels are perfect. There can be delays. There might be something that you might not like, but it's to have sabr throughout that whole journey, to make sure you stay with that, inshallah, with that sabr. And in continuation, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا تَفْعَلُوا مِنْ خَيْرٍ يَعْلَمْهُ اللَّهُ. So whatever amal you do, whatever you do, most certainly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything and every act that you'll be doing during this journey. And for that, you'll be rewarded accordingly to all of your acts that you complete during this Hajj. And then continuation, وَتَزَوَّدُوا فَإِنَّ خَيْرَ الزَّادِ التَّقْوَى. So we bring our stuff, don't we? We bring provisions. So we get ready, we make sure our flights are done, our hotels are ready, which those who have purchased, these are done. Our hotels, flights, visas. Alhamdulillah, we've all purchased this. And then what we'll do is, we'll get our ihrams, get our bags, and make sure we have our sunscreens and stuff like this. Allah subhanahu says, yes, do this as well. Make sure you do this side of it, but also the best of provisions. So the best of things to take with you to Hajj is at-taqwa, to have taqwa, to make sure that you have that fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and prepare ourselves from now. So that's doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us to do, praying our 5 rakat salah. Obviously, during the month of Ramadan, we are fasting during this month, giving our zakats as well, making sure we complete these things, being good, doing as much as amal as we can to prepare ourselves and staying away from the haram, to stay away from the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has forbidden us. So this is to have taqwa and to get our ready. So that's the best of provisions that we can take to Hajj and to perform our Hajj there. And the last ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states, وَاتَّقُونِ يَا أُولِي الْأَلْبَابِ. And this is for those who understand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us from the ones who truly understand this ayat. It's easy by looking at the meaning of it. Okay, I have to do this, I have to stay away from this, I have to have taqwa. It's easier said than done. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says at the end. It's for those who understand. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us amongst them. And a hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I'll finish with this, that he states that al-umratu ila al-umrati kaffaratun lima baynahuma. So one umrah to another umrah is an expiation of their sins. So for their sins to be forgiven. So if you perform one umrah to your next umrah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive those sins that are completed in between. And then in the continuation, wal hajjul mabruru, so a mabrur hajj, so a hajj that has been accepted, laysa lahu, the only thing that person can get, Jaza'un, they reward that person who has a complete Hajj, an accepted Hajj, illa al-Jannah, that person, he will only receive Jannah. The only reward for a mabrur Hajj, an accepted Hajj, is to go into Jannah, is to be accepted into Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us amongst those servants. And now next slide, inshallah, we have one of our initiatives that we have been running for quite a long time now is our Fazilet calendar. Now, I have previously shared this as well. We have some new people here tonight, so I'll just go over it briefly. Now, this application that you can download on your Android device or your iPhone devices has accurate prayer times according to your location. So it's not like a general Melbourne location, for example, it gives more specific. Might be in the southeast suburbs, might be Dandenong, might be Noble Park, might be Keysborough, or might be, Meadow Heights, Craigieburn. I'm just getting places in Melbourne because I'm not too familiar with Sydney or Brisbane, but it gives more specific suburb areas of that time. So it might differ by like a minute or even 2 minutes. So that's why these calendars have been prepared by our astronomers, our team that work preparing these times according to each location individually. So as we know, waqt is a very important thing in our religion. So waqt, our salah time is based on waqt. You can't pray Fajr in the time of Zuhur, you can't pray Zuhur in the time of Asr. That's why it all comes down to time. And during Ramadan, for example, we have Ramadan right now. What are we doing? We have time. So from sunrise to sunset, again, time. Hajj, when is it performed? It's performed during a certain time of the year. So waqt is a very important thing, and one of the most important things for waqt is our salah time. So this is the very thing that we've been prepared for, one of our initiatives that we have been going around the world for quite a long time now, and would recommend, if you haven't downloaded already, I'll be sharing the link into the group after I complete this webinar. We'll be sharing that as well. But to download this, not only does it have their waqt times, our salah times, but also daily hadiths or ayats, and it has like some information, like very basic, like small little bite size of information about fiqh. It might be something about the Ikhlas tafsir, or it might be something about fasting, or it might be something about giving zakat. Just small little informations that you can read daily that take like a minute or two to read. And also we have an built-in ilmuhal, so a fiqh, Hanafi and Shafi ilmuhal built into the app. So you go to the library there, and you can also select the book there as well. And then we also have a built-in Quran al-Kareem as well into it. So you can save your khatim that you're reading where you left off. And it's a very beautiful app, very beautiful thing that been having an initiative that we've been having for many years now. So just wanted to share that with you as well. Inshallah, I'll be sharing that into the group, and you can have a look at that later on. Now, as Hisar, first of all, I've explained this before as well, that we are mainly based with our madrasa services that we have around the globe. So we have over 140 plus countries. We have our madrasas across the globe. And our main focus is to teach the people of that area, the children, and raise them up to have the ahlak Muhammadiyah, to raise them in the proper way, and also so they can be beneficial to their communities in their area. So in 140 plus countries, we have our madrasa services, and in some of those countries, we have our Hajj and Umrah initiative that we have, which is our Hisar, which is what we have here in Australia. We have Hisar Travel here. In America, it's called Hisar Tour. In Europe, it's called Hisar Europe, and so forth. This is our previous years in terms of Hajj. So this is just Hajj this is just this year. 42 countries, alhamdulillah, will be serving pilgrims around from 42 countries, 7,000 plus, just this year. And then from the Nusuk system alone, so from 35 countries in terms of Nusuk. As we know, Nusuk works to B2C. So this is, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, America, Canada, and all over Europe. We have 1,400 just from the Nusuk system alone. The rest of them is from our B2B, which is, Turkey, Kenya, Kazakhstan, Russia, these kind of countries, comes up to around more than 7,000. Of course, as you know as well, the package purchasing is not finished yet. So this number will go up to around close to 8,000, 8,500, inshallah, once it's fully complete. So inshallah, we have pilgrims joining us from all around the world. So in your group, it won't just be Australia, New Zealand, Fiji. You'll also have some brothers from America, Canada, maybe from parts of Europe, parts of Africa, just depending on the package that you have, and also languages. So we'll be separating packages according to languages, which will be mainly English guides for all of our ones here in Australia. And then we'll be having our group set like that, inshallah. And as we've shown before as well, so our partners, Sira Mawasim, who is one of the major service providers in Saudi Arabia, we've been working there for about 3 years now. And alhamdulillah, within the past 3 years, again, just through B2C, so just through Nusuk, over 5,000 pilgrims. And alhamdulillah, we've been renewed our contract with them again and looking forward to another year to perform Hajj with them. This is an example, again, it's just a sample of what we'll be providing in terms of which group you will be in. So we separate groups in terms of numbers. So it'll be ranging from number 1 all the way to 40, 45, depending on how many pilgrims we have. And then, so it'll be gold plus or gold 01 or gold 02, or whether it might be comfort 22 night. You'll be separating into your groups. And then you'll have your own group leaders, group imams. Generally, from everyone from Australia will be all English guided, so we'll be all English groups. And then with your imam, whether it might be Imam Rajab, Imam Talha, or Imam Binyamin, or so forth, we'll be having one-on-one sessions with them, and they will call you before the trip as well to get to know each other. And then, inshallah, you will meet them in Medina, or if you're starting in Mecca, you'll meet them in Mecca al-Mukarramah and start your tour from there. So those who have purchased individual tickets, custom flights, you will make your way to Saudi Arabia, and then when you land at the airport, the Nusuk team, they will assist you in bringing you to the hotel where you will meet your group leader, and then from there, inshallah, the tour will start from there onwards. So our main form of communication is WhatsApp. Now, this is very important to keep active on your WhatsApp, to make sure you keep checking your WhatsApp consistently, because we do send the latest group program. So something might have changed, or bus might have got delayed, or might be doing something else that day. But everything is sent through our groups, and we'll have our sisters only groups as well, where they'll be able to ask questions that relate to them, and we'll have a muallima who will be able to answer those questions for those sisters. And then generally we'll have our group. So we'll have group 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put you into that group, and then your imam will be sending you information into their programs, what's going to be done next, and some stuff that he'd like you to do in terms of preparation for Hajj as well. So that'll be all done through our WhatsApp communications. So even when we're in Saudi Arabia, one of the main things is to make sure that you have internet connection. It can be your eSIM, or even your own roaming, or you can even buy a SIM card there as well. Buy your own SIM card there as well, and you can make sure that we're connected during the whole time, because anything can happen, and the programs will be announced in the group chats. Now, this is a very, very important topic, this one, the Nusuk app, which is for your Rawda booking. So maybe some of you already have it, maybe you don't. Definitely download this. It's the Nusuk app. Just go onto your App Store or Play Store for Androids, write Nusuk, and then you'll see this Nusuk app. These are a little bit old pictures, so it's pretty much similar, same thing, just different colors they've made it. You'll go create accounts, international visitor, and then you'll fill in the application. It'll ask for your passport number, your phone number. Once you fill that in, it'll come to a step where it asks you for your visa number. Now, most likely you don't have your visa numbers. No one's been issued their visas yet, as I've written here as well. So visas, they will be issued after 17 April. So in between 17 April and whenever your departure, so it might be 12 May, within that 4 weeks, visas should all be sent out. Now, I don't want people to start calling me on 17 April, I haven't got my visa. Just give that 4-week period. You might get it earlier, you might get it later. It all gets sent to you by Nusuk. Nusuk will email you all of your visas, which will get sent to you, which we do highly recommend to print them out and have them ready for your journey. I did also mention the vaccination as well, to make sure we have our vaccination certificates printed as well. So this Rawda booking is a very important one. You can download the app now, create the account from now. You just can't do the visa part. You can't book because you don't have the visa. But keep in mind, if you have gone Umrah previously as well, you can only book one appointment every 365 days. So if you've gone to Umrah within the last 365 days, then you will not be able to book an appointment If you haven't, then yes, you can book through the Nusuk app and be able to go into the Rawda, which is, as we know, Riyadh al-Jannah, where our Prophet ﷺ is, where his grave is that we'll be visiting. So that's through the Nusuk app that will be done through there. In terms of times, again, in your groups, once we get the groups confirmed, your group leader will give you a specific time. So he might say, brothers, 13 May, after Isha, before Fajr, and then sisters might be the next day before Isha. You try to get as close as you can to that time. It might be very difficult to make sure everyone gets in the same slot. They might run out. But as long as it's an individual visit, so as long as you can book it for yourself, because you'll go there, you'll do your own individual ibadat. It's not something we're going to be doing as a group. The Rawza is very busy, you don't have much time there. So it's more of a individual ibadat that you'll be doing. So we'll be informing at times that would like you to get it. The reason why we say to get it during these times would be because so it doesn't interrupt our tour that we might be having. We might be having our tour where we're going around to the nearby ziyarats, the walking distance ones, or there might be a tour done by bus. So not to interrupt them, we give you a specific time to get it close to, so it doesn't interrupt our tour. And next one is the gifts provided. Now, we provide you with so you're having a backpack, which we given to you, and then we'll provide also a slipper bag. Now, this will be very handy when it comes to Mecca al-Mukarramah. In Mecca al-Mukarramah, you'll be able to only take this smaller bag in. So you can't take your big backpack in. They won't let that in through the doors. But with the smaller slipper bags, which is enough to probably put a few little belongings in there. You can put your slippers. You can put your shoes in there as well. If you're not in the state of ihram, of course. You can take that into Masjid al-Haram. So we'll have the backpack as well. Ihram for brothers, so it'll be one pair, so it'll be two pieces. So one for the bottom, one for your top. It'll be two pieces of ihram. So it'll be one pair with a belt that we'll be providing as well. If you would like to buy more, which we would recommend to at least have one more piece. So it does during those Hajj days, because you wear your ihram for about 2.5 days. It might get a bit sweaty or might get dirty as well, might fall while you need to go to the bathroom or something. So it is good to have an extra pair as well, which you can by all means purchase in Medina. It's not as if they don't sell ihrams in Medina. You can purchase there. You can purchase now if you want, but I do believe there's no point buying from here. You can buy from there as well for a better price. Can all be done in Medina and in Mecca as well. Another one is we provide the guidebooks. So we'll be giving a Hajj guidebook, inshallah. For now, we'll be sharing a PDF version of it. So you can practice at home and get yourselves ready. But then when the time comes, inshallah, we'll be providing you a physical book as well, whether that might be in Medina or whether it might be later on before departure. And also your ID cards that we'll be giving out. So the ID cards, it'll be quite basic. We'll just have a picture of yourself, your passport's number, nationality, date of birth, which will be collecting these informations from you later on. And we'll be creating these ID cards. And it will be like a QR code that we'll be adding to the card. And now that QR code would lead to a website that we prepared, which will have your flight information, your hotel information. In fact, I'll just give an example of what it will look like. So it'll look something like this. So it'll be like this, where you go on, you'll have your contacts, your group leader, which you'll be able to contact directly. I have flight information. So it depends. If you're going with the group, we'll only put the group bookings flight information. We can't have everyone's individual custom one, but the group booking information will be found here. We'll provide you with the hotel information, check-in, check-out, which hotel, and it'll be like a map pin. So as soon as you click on that map pin, it'll take you to exactly where the hotel is located, just in case if you do get lost. You'll be able to find it nice and easy. Lobby, restaurant, we'll be adding their breakfast time, dinner times, and the password as well. We'll be adding every group's itinerary in there individually as well. So every group will have their own unique itinerary. It might be similar with other groups, but every itinerary will be different because everyone's arrival and departure is different and stays in Medina, some are less, some are more. So this is a basic itinerary of what it'll look like, which we'll be sharing with you. And then also we'll have other documents, whether it might be your checklist that you're preparing yourself for. Again, we'll add the guidebook onto there as well that you can have a read through, and other information that will be vital for your journey for Hajj, inshallah. So we're providing them, inshallah, and then you can go through that later on. Now, in terms of group flights, a question that we get asked a lot. Now, as we know, there is a bit of a conflict going on in the Middle East. We're just waiting. There's no confirmation on that flights have been delayed in terms of for Hajj. As we mentioned, the Hajj Ministry have said that where will be going on with Hajj will not be delayed. Now, in terms of your domestic flight, so if you booked from you live in Melbourne and you booked the Sydney flights, you are more than welcome to buy your domestic flights between Sydney and Melbourne from now, according to what is on your itinerary on Nusuk. So once you log on to Nusuk, there will be, when you click on your name on the top right, it'll say My Itinerary. Once you click on My Itinerary, you'll see a full description of your flight details, what time you're leaving, what day, and which airport and so forth. And you can buy your tickets accordingly domestically. If you want to wait a bit longer, you can wait. That's your choice. But generally, whatever's on Nusuk, it's pretty much 99%. It is that they're pretty accurate, and it doesn't. If it does get delayed, maybe like an hour or two forward or back. But to make sure that we can buy our domestic flights as soon as possible, if you are going with another city departing. In terms of layovers, with Qatar Airways, there is about a few flights that are 8 hours and above. Qatar Airways, they provide hotels, so there'll be free accommodation. You'll be able to stay in the hotel that Qatar Airways will be providing. Other than that, there is another thing with Qatar. They also have something called Discover Doha, which is quite nice. You can just go there. If your layover is 2 hours or more, you go to the Discover Doha desk, you show them your ticket, and then you'll be able to, they'll take you out like a bit of a city tour. Depends on which tour you go for. However much time you have, the longer the tour can be. It doesn't cost too much as well. So you can have a bit of a discovering Doha as well on your layover if you want to make the most of that time. At your responsibilities at the moment, there's nothing for you to do at the moment, like I said, because your ticket hasn't been issued just yet. So it's been reserved. You haven't received your ticket number or anything like that at the moment. We are expecting after 17 April, again, Nusuk will email all these details to you where you'll have your full information about the flight. Now, for those who would like to either, change their city, so they book Sydney and they want to change to Melbourne, or they book Melbourne, they want to change it to Brisbane, whatever it might be, seat upgrades, from, economic to business, or maybe even extra leg room. This is done through Nusuk. Now, they informed us about 2 days ago that all flight changes or flights, requests need to all be done through Nusuk. Now, on the Nusuk website, I will show from here as well, so you can understand what I'm talking about. On the Nusuk website, once you log online, at the main page on the Nusuk website, if you scroll down to the bottom, they have something here. It's called Submit Complaint. So once you click on Submit Complaint, there will be a category. You'll scroll down and it has here flights. So they've added this on. You click on flights, subcategory, might be, schedule change, an inquiry about seat or anything like that. It goes through here. You select that, fill in your name, last name, email, phone number, and your note. So make sure you put a good description there so it's fully understandable, and what they'll be changing and what you would like them to change. So this is all done through there. So just go onto Nusuk website, scroll down to the bottom, submit complaint, and then you can select your categories, and then they will be able to assist you. So Nusuk said that they will be personally handling all this. So they'll be all done through the Nusuk website. So that was for the flights. Next is our Adahi. Now, Adahi, most have already purchased through Nusuk, which is perfectly fine. That's fine. You can do that. Or if you haven't purchased through Nusuk and you want to go for another provider, You can look online. There is many providers in Saudi that I do believe they charge around $300 maybe for a Qurbani. However, we'll be offering these services as well. So if you want to specifically go through Hisar, we do charge a little bit extra, $500, which is double than what the others are. The reason being is because we make sure that we have our personnel on the ground, making sure that Qurbani is being cut at the right time as well. So not just being cut, but making sure it's done according to the Sharia. The animal is healthy, it's not missing an ear, it's not missing an eye, it can walk properly. It's a certain age, it's a certain height as well. And once you have these things done properly, then we make sure that your Qurbani is also cut on time. So this will be done after you do your first stoning. So once you do that first day of stoning, then your group leader will inform our personnel inside the slaughterhouse saying that this group, for example, group 12, we have finished our slaughtering, and then he'll start name by name, going through the names, and then reciting these with Basmala and Takbir and making sure that we cut the Qurbans on time. Now, those who have already purchased through Nusuk is perfectly fine. We can't speak on their behalf. We don't know when they'll cut the Qurban. Might be later, might be earlier. We don't know. But in terms of us, we do make sure that it's done properly according to the Sharia, and that we make sure that your Hajj ibadat, it's the one ibadat that you're doing once in a lifetime, and we do our best of our ability to make sure that that can be accepted and everything's done in the best manner according to the Sharia. So for the Qurban, as I said, it's not compulsory. You can go through it, you can choose to do it. If you do want to do it, which you have already filled out the form, which we have already mentioned. And within the past, I did send a few messages to a few brothers about the payment for that. That can be done, at least it's done before 1st of May. So last deadline for that is 1st of May with the names of that whom you'd like the Qurban to be cut for. Now, before our travel, there's some things that we need to go over and make sure that we have ready. First of all, question that we get asked is, what clothes should I bring? Now, we do not recommend, don't bring, luggage full of clothes. You can wash clothes there as well. There is laundry services there that will come. Even the hotel has a laundry service, or there is outside laundry service as well that can assist with this. So we do believe not to pack too much things. Have long sleeve stuff, so don't have a t-shirt. Long sleeve shirts that are very thin, because it will protect you from the sun as well, and you won't feel too hot as well. So something that's long sleeve and that is light colors and that's not thick. And we do recommend bringing lots of undergarments as well, for the journey in. Now these things we do mention to bring them, but they could also be bought there as well. So it's a very developed country. There is shops everywhere. You can also buy these things there as well. If you do run out, no need to worry. You can also buy it in Medina and Mecca. There's plenty of shops that you can buy these things from as well. Medications. Now, we do recommend bringing, it's either like painkillers or cold and flu tablets, or pain relief like creams, Voltaren or something like this. If you do use medications, please, make sure you have a checkup with your doctor first of all, and tell them that you're going to be going on this journey. It's going to be hot and so forth. Explain it to them. And if you need to get any top up with your medication, make sure you have that ready from before. There is obviously pharmacies there as well, but you might not be able to find that same the medication that you use here. So definitely take it from here if you have set medications that you need to take. And sunscreen. Now, sunscreen, you can take normal sunscreen as well, but keep in mind during the state of ihram, it has to be unscented. So you can't put on scented stuff, whether it might be scented soap or scented sunscreen, or even toothpaste as well. So make sure you have unscented sunscreen as well for that journey. And another one is our tag. So with your bags, it's a very important matter. Like last year, we had around 2-3 brothers who they didn't get their bags on time. That's why we do recommend having your bags very clearly labeled with your information. If it requires you to get a big A4 piece of paper, write your name, number, address, emergency contact, whatever, and stick that very good on the front of your luggage. Whatever you can do to make sure that luggage can get back to you, and take pictures. So it's only like a 1-second job. Take pictures of your luggage, have it saved on your phone. If it does happen, inshallah, it won't happen. Like I said, it doesn't happen too often, but it is a very busy time of the year. As you can imagine, there is so many passengers coming through Medina, coming through Jeddah. So much luggage is coming through, millions of luggage is coming through. So it can happen, and you might be that one who has that luggage that gets lost. So have plenty of photos of it ready. If it does happen, inform your group leader straight away. They will inform us. As long as you have pictures and you have the information ready of your luggage and what it looks like, we'll be able to locate it and bring it back to you. So that's a very important one in terms of luggages. And obviously, make sure you have on your normal carry-on, essential items that you'll at least need for like a night. So just in case your big luggage doesn't end up coming, have some extra stuff in the small carry-on and keep your valuable items in your small carry-on. That might be your medications or electrical devices and stuff like that. Have that in your small carry-on. Definitely do not put that under baggage just in case that might happen. In terms of group flights, now generally with our Qatar Airways, they do allow up to 2 checked baggages on the flight. For your own individual ones, for the custom flights, I can't really speak on behalf of that. You'll have to speak with your airlines, whichever airlines you had purchased that from. But in terms of our group ones, they do allow 2 checked baggages. Now prepare in terms of the flight. If you don't like airline food, obviously you can bring your own food on board, snacks that you might want to take for the journey. It's Qatar Airways, so it's around a 18, 19-hour journey by the time we end up in Medina or in Mecca. So you can bring your own snacks as well if you would like, if you don't want to have the airline food. Obviously the airlines do give food as well, but that's up to you. Sunglasses. Now this is a must, definitely, especially when you're in even in Medina as well, but especially in Masjid al-Haram, the white tiles, it just directly glares right onto your face and you're pretty much blinded. So these sunglasses, these are a must. When we do our ziyarats as well, we go by to Uhud and Mount Thawid and so forth. These are all done during the day generally, and it does get really sunny there, really hot. So make sure we have our sunglasses to protect our eyes and also our sunscreen as well. Our ports for the plugs there for the hotels, we do recommend getting one of those universal adapters. So you can, pretty much you can use it anytime, wherever you go in the world. So definitely have a universal adapter that you can plug onto your normal Australian PowerPoint or Australian plugs onto. A waste bag. Now, last year, Mawasim did give us these waste bags. They were very handy. If you would like, you can buy something more quality yourselves from here. But this comes in very handy, especially being when you're in the state of Ihram, to have something that you can put your phone and money and your hotel card and stuff into. This comes in very handy. So we do recommend to buy one of these. Like I said, Mawasim last year did provide one. Will they provide again this year? We can't. I can't guarantee that, but they did provide it last year, but it wasn't the best of quality. So I do recommend having something like a waist bag that you can have during your trip. In terms of slippers, now in the state of Ihram, most basic is that your front toes and your back heel has to be open. So as you can see in this picture here, has to be like something like this. It can be like a thong as well, those ones that you wear to the beach. It can be something like that as well. Or can be like this, as long as the front and the back is open, and the top strap, it has to be either glued or somehow strapped onto the bottom plate without being stitched. So they can't be stitched from the top to the bottom plate. Again, it could be glued or nailed or something else. But so this is basically what a slipper should be like. And as you see, we have the cross on the Crocs. So these Crocs, this is not acceptable. We saw a lot of people during Hajj as well having these Crocs on. This is not permitted. As I said, so the front and the back is your main. Again, this is just for brothers. For sisters, you can wear anything. Any footwear is permissible. But for brothers, the back and the front needs to be open. As I mentioned before, so our WhatsApp channel must be active. Make sure we have internet connection. In terms of money, carrying on, bringing cash, everyone asks this question. Definitely, we read there no more than 1,000, but I'd say no more than 750, probably per $700 per person, because we are going to be moving a lot, especially those who are shifting as well. And we're going to go Mina, you're going to go Arafat, you're going to go Muzdalifah, you're going to go here, things can get lost. We had brothers who did lose very large amounts of money, $5,000-6,000 they lost on money. They were just carrying a lot of money on them and they ended up losing that during the journey. So definitely do not carry very large amounts of money. Like I said, $500-600, this would be more than enough. Obviously, your food, breakfast, dinner is provided there. Obviously, your transport's all there. Water, they give out water all the time for free. The only thing that you'll be buying there, if you would like, is, gifts. You'll buy dates for your family back home, or, gifts for them, or it might be a tasbih or something for them to bring back. So you wouldn't need too much cards. So your normal Visa cards, they do work there as well, and most vendors it does work, or even the ATM. So most ATMs do accept your card, and you can pull out Rial there as you need it. You might just pull out 100 Rial for something that you might need. It is good to have cash on board so you can convert it into Saudi Riyal. Now, this might be given as sadaqah. So during the state of ihram, we might commit small little things that aren't permissible, and it might require us to give sadaqah. So 1 Riyal, 2 Riyal, 5 Riyal, whatever it might be. And you can just give these small sadaqahs to the cleaners in Masjid al-Haram or in Masjid Nabawi as well. Walking. Now, we do recommend starting your walking journey and making sure that you can, you're fit enough for this, because there's a lot of walking. Even if you're in the most highest end package, in Majra Cups, you will still be walking. Walking is something you can't avoid. So at least we recommend like an hour a day, 2 hours a day. Just start walking slightly. Last year we had this sister. She was around 80 years old, and the walk from Muzdalifah to Jamarat is quite a long, so about an hour and a half, 2 hours it may take. And she ended up doing it very easily. She walked through the whole thing, and then we saw, as we're walking, you can see like some young people who are like 25, 30, and they're sitting down having a break, drinking some water, huffing and puffing. And she was actually thinking them along, saying, come on, you can do it, you can still keep going, it's not long left. So, and we did ask her, like, how are you this fit? And she said, 2 months before Hajj, I started walking. She started walking every day, 1 hour, 2 hour, and she prepared herself like that. So, very important thing to prepare ourselves before. Don't expect that when we get there, it'll be nice and easy. I'll handle it. It is very hot. The conditions are much more severe. So, make sure we prepare ourselves from now before going there. Now, this is our audio devices. It might look a bit, well, it is a bit old school fashion, but these devices come in very handy when we're there. We give these to each group leader, group leader will have a microphone, and the group participants, so yourself, the judge, you will have one of these devices as well. You will plug your own personal headphones into it. So for hygienic reasons, we do not provide the headphones. So everyone will be getting their own headphones, basic from Kmart or something, Amazon, $5, $10, something basic can even work. It says there, so 3.5 milliliter jack. So you plug that in, you connect to the station or the channel that the group leader is on. And as even he's ahead of you, he's about 10, 15 minutes ahead of you. You won't be able to hear him normally, but you plug your headphones in, and as he's reciting his du'as, you'll be hearing it, and you recite after him, or you say Amin after him. Or even when we're doing the ziyarats, it's a very big group. He'll be talking at the front, and you're at the back, you won't be able to hear. But if you have your device on, you're listening, you can hear every single word he's explaining nice and clearly. So these devices will be provided, but the headphones, you will need to purchase them yourselves. In terms of WhatsApp, now this doesn't occur all the time. Sometimes phone calls don't connect. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. So you can download sort of a VPN that you can have to connect in for the KSA for Saudi. But like I said, sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. So it's a recommendation that we do say as well. The vaccine, so meningitis vaccine, I also sent a message into the group as well. So to make sure we have that, they do ask that on arrival. Now, it is key to note that it has to be taken, it can't be taken within 10 days of departure. So from now until 10 days before departure, it can be taken in this time period, but before 10 days before departure, it will not be accepted. So it has to be done before that. Either get it done now or just after Ramadan finishes, you can get it done. As long as it's done 10 days before your departure. If you've already done it before, these are valid for about 5 years. So if you've done it within the last 5 years, that's perfectly fine. If for more information, you can even look on the Nusuk website. So the Nusuk website actually has a lot of information on it as well, if you have gone through it. If you click on Hajj guidelines, there will be a health section there. You click on the health guidelines, and it'll explain to you these vaccinations and why they're important, and any other health regulations that you'll need to be aware of. Now, biometrics, some of you may have received an email saying that they require biometrics from you if you've purchased your package. Now, this is only for those who are non-Australian, New Zealand, and Fijian passport holders. So this is generally for UK or Bangladesh passport holders. They generally ask for you to do these biometrics. It's quite simply, they have an app called Saudi Biometrics. You download it, you fill in the application there, and then it asks for your biometrics. You put in the details and you submit that. And it's quite simple. But if you're an Australian, New Zealand, Fijian passport, just ignore that. You don't need to do anything at that moment. Power bank. Now, there is obviously power points in your hotel rooms, but this is mainly for when we go to Mina, Arafat, Muzdalifah, especially Muzdalifah. There's no power points in Muzdalifah. There's no power points walking to Jamarat. So this is where your power banks will come in handy. In Mina, there is power points, but it's shared between 3, 4 people, and you might not be able to access the PowerPoint. So definitely power banks are a must, and get something good quality that can last you as well. So that's another must as well. Our last one is so I mentioned the SIM cards. You can either buy it there when we arrive in Medina, or you can do eSIM. There's apps that you can download for eSIM, or you can do your own roaming as well. Just make sure you look at your roamings for your provider and make sure it doesn't charge you too much. So that's a must. Make sure we have our full internet connection while we are there. As I said, WhatsApp is our main point of contact if anything happens. Withdrawing money from the ATMs, like I said, you can use your normal debit cards, you can withdraw money. Abaya, if you want to buy some abayas there, you can buy it from here as well, but you can probably find it for a better price and more of a variety in Medina and Mecca as well that can be bought there. Another very important thing is the umbrella. Now, umbrella, you will be walking a lot in the sun. So not just any umbrella, not just normal umbrella that will protect you from the rain, don't have to worry about that, but more so the UV protection one. So make sure it's a UV grade one that protects you from the sun more specifically. Get a nice quality one. When you're in Saudi, Mawasim and Nusuk also, they provide you with umbrellas, but they're not the best. They're very cheap. They break straight away. So we'd recommend just buying yourself a good quality one. You can even buy it in Saudi as well. Don't have to buy it from here and take it. You can buy it there too. But definitely an umbrella is a must if you would like to purchase that from here. Now, our programs, it'll look something like this. We'll be giving some examples of our programs. So our Medina programs, I don't want to get too much detail because we'll go over this in more detail in our next seminars once we've confirmed the groups and the packages. But it'll look something like this. We'll go day by day where you're going to do ziyarats. So all your ziyarats include your nearby ziyarats and also your ziyarats done by bus in Medina and Mecca is also included. Your Hajj days we explained to be where you're going to be, Mina, Arafat, Muzdalifah, watch days. It'll all be explained in depth a bit later on. Don't want to go into too much detail at the moment. And then also after your Hajj days are complete, the things that we'll need to be going over as well. Is there a link of or form where we can purchase Qurbani from HSR? I will send a message into the group. We are contacting everyone individually. If you probably already received the call today, we are going through everyone we started today. I think we got to about probably 10-15% of the group so far. We'll be giving a call throughout the next couple of days and make sure we contact everyone who has purchased our package successfully. So next couple of days, expect a call. We'll be confirming some stuff about the packages. There will also be confirming the Qurbani as well. However, I'll prepare a message as well that I can send to the group. It'll pay directly to one of our accounts here, our Hisar account here in Australia. As I mentioned again, this is just an option. It is not compulsory. You can find another way to do your Qurbani services, but we'll be offering this service as well. And like I said, I'll provide a message and I'll send it in the group and you can look through there, inshallah. So I can brother for flight city change, can we submit request now? Yes, submit your request now. Send it through to Nusuk. If they do say it's too early, then you'll do it later. But definitely go through and start your process now so they can get onto it. So anything about flights has to be gone through Nusuk, as we've been informed about 2 days ago. Is there a possibility that instead of Qatar Airways, Nusuk organize a direct charter flight or via? Yes, it is a completely possibility. Nusuk, they've announced, like I said, the Hajj ministry have said Hajj will be going on. It'll be working. It'll be continuing. So we do believe that inshallah we're preparing as if the journey will be going, and inshallah it will be going on. I do believe that they can organize charter flights as well if Qatar isn't a possibility. So they'll sort that out on their end. I do believe it will get sorted out. What if the Australian government says not to travel to Middle East? Well, as you know, there are recommendations now. If you don't feel comfortable in traveling, you'll need to contact Nusuk. Not too sure. So Nusuk's what they might do if we aren't able to travel might be a few different things there. So it has to be done through Nusuk. As you know, it's all purchasing, all packaging is all done through Nusuk. So you might need to contact them directly to see what the options can be if that is the case, that you won't be able to go. Can we do Umrah first before Hajj? Yes, we will be doing Umrah before Hajj, of course, inshallah. When will we know and meet our group leaders? As we said, once we start confirming the groups and who's purchased what and which rooms and which language, then I do believe in the coming weeks we should be starting to introduce you to your group leaders, inshallah. Will war affect Hajj? As I mentioned before, just answer the above. When does the transfer happen? What time we arrive to Mecca with bus or train? So this is planned generally for midday. Midday, you generally, like in the morning, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. time, you leave Medina. And if you're going by train, around 2 hours. If you're going by bus, it does take around 6 to 7 hours. So yeah, that'll be done around midday, will be departing from Medina. So in the event Hajj is cancelled, the Australian government cancels flights, will receive a refund. As I said, it's done through Nusuk, and they're pretty confident that there will not be anything like that, that Hajj will be continuing on. Next one, for information of the board team app allows internet calls like WhatsApp. I'm not sure, I haven't heard of that app. I'm not too sure what that is, sorry. Does everyone have to do the Hajj type? Example, Tamattu or Quran? We have Medina first. Which one do we do? All of our groups will be Hajj Tamattu. So you'll perform one Umrah and then Hajj. So all the groups will be Hajj Tamattu. So you'll be forming one Umrah, exiting your Ihram, and you'll be entering Ihram again for your Hajj. So this will be for all groups. What they will be leaving and coming back to Australia so we can take time from work. I don't know which package you bought. So according to what package you bought, the dates are written there. So every package is different, so I can't really speak on that. My question, can you send us a list of visits tours depending on package like Gold HSR? Yes, so these will all be provided. Like I said, will be generally you'll have all your nearby ziyarats. So this will be the masjids that are close to Medina Nawra. This will be Masjid al-Ghama, Masjid Abu Bakr, Masjid Ali, Janatul Mu'alla, and obviously Masjid Nabawi. And then you'll have your ziyarats done by bus, which will be Uhud, Qiblatain, Masjid Quba. These will be done by bus in Medina, and then in Mecca and Mukarramah, you'll have your nearby ziyarats, which are done by walking, the birthplace of the Prophet ﷺ, Masjid al-Raya, Masjid al-Shadra, Masjid al-Jinn, Janatul Mu'alla. This will be done by walking. And then by bus, you'll have your ziyarats, which will be done by Mount Thabir, Mount Hira, Arafat, and obviously you will be there, Arafat, Jamarat, Muzdalifah. You will see all those areas during Hajj. So they are all covered in your tours, regardless of which group it might be. Just for maybe the shorter groups, so the groups that might be 11 or 14 days, maybe not the 14 days, but the 11 or 12-day groups, they may not do some ziyaras because their trip is very short, so we can only fit a certain amount. But those who are, 19, 22, there'll be full program will be done because you have plenty of time to do them. Okay, we have a very long question here. Are we allowed battery operated fans? I'm pretty sure it's meant to say there. Yes, you are. You'll be able to take them into your Mina camps, which will be very handy as well, especially doing your walks as well. What can we do to so if that is the case, if you do have any sicknesses like, as you mentioned, like diabetics, something like that, please contact your doctor. I can't give any health advice in terms of that. Contact your doctor and visit local GP. And if they do recommend doing something, definitely listen to them. And they give you some medication, definitely make sure we get that done before departing. Toilet breaks while on foot. So there in terms of when going from Muzdalifah to Jamarat, there is maybe, one or two toilets that you may be able to find. In terms of stopping the whole group and then you go into the toilet, that might be a bit difficult. So it's important to stick with the group. So in Muzdalifah, before we depart, there is ablution areas there that you can use. You can use the toilets there before you leave. So it's important to do that before we start our big walk to Jamarat. Will women and men be in Hisar be together on foot travel buses? So yes, so the groups will be together. Obviously, there'll be groups of 45 to 35 to 45 people, and brothers and sisters will be in the one group. However, when we are moving, we generally like to keep the brothers in the front and the sisters in the back. Or if there is couples or families, of course, you can stick together, move together. But in terms of ones who are coming on their own, if a sister's coming on her own, if a brother's coming on her own, we'll keep those brothers at the front and the sisters at the back. As we mentioned, we have those listening devices, so you'll be able to hear from wherever you are as well. Will there be a chance of getting lost? So it's important to, if you have someone in the group that will be able to assist you. So if you're coming with a family, that's perfect. They'll be able to stick with you together. And, because holding up a whole group of 45 people may be a bit difficult. So definitely make sure in Muzdalifah before we depart. We'll go over this in more depth later on as well. You'll be able to do your, if you need to go to the toilet there before departing for Jamarat. Will we always be guided by our leader in sleeping in Musalla, when to wake up? Yes, your guide will always be there and letting you know what's the next program. So that'll all be done. Do we leave suitcases in Mecca with passports, etc.? No, we don't recommend taking any valuables to Mina, that's for sure. When leaving Mecca, what do we need for the trip moving forward? Clothes, medication. We'll be providing a small bag. So you'll be able to take a small bag to, I'm throwing what you're referring to from Mecca, leaving Mecca. That's probably to Mina is what you're referring to. Now that is possible to leave your big items in your hotel room and just take, belongings that you'll need for that 1 or 2 nights in Mina. So not to have too many stuff with you when you're going. Is there any updates on list on the available packages? So what we already have on that link, which we shared about a couple of weeks ago, is still the same. There has been no change at the moment. Well, as far as we are concerned, so Nusuk hasn't informed us on any change to the packages. So we do believe the same amount of packages are still available. For vaccine, is confirmation from immunization register enough? So if you have a Medicare, they generally put onto your Medicare app and you can print that out, or just go to your local GP, get them to sign a paper, something that shows that this vaccine has been taken by you and it's signed by the doctor. That's more than enough that you just show them on the entry. You showed us where to look up information. What was the site for daily itinerary? That's not available at the moment. So that'll be available later on, not available now. In regards to the return flight, can we extend the layover day and will that be done through Nusuk? Again, all done through Nusuk. I do believe you can, but that'll all be done through Nusuk. Is Adahi organizing a good place to buy Qurbani? I don't know. You can't speak on their behalf. Maybe you should do some research into it, but I can't speak on adahi.org's behalf. Next one, Salam, wish to know when can get booking reference number. As I did mention, so 17 April, that's all going to be sent to you by email. That's all done by Nusuk. Now, we say 17 April, but it's generally between 17 April and 10 May. So within that, 4-week period, they will send you these stuff. So if it comes to 17 April, you haven't received your visa, haven't received your flight, you don't need to start calling. Just wait. It can take a bit longer. So Nusuk does have to provide these to a lot of people, and it does take time to go through the process. Won't ex-Nusuk keep rejection my application due to photo quality and resize proof? So we generally found that residents, so people who don't have an Australian passport, or if you're not a citizen of that country, currently applications are not being accepted. It's taking quite a while. It's very little amount. So I think we had 4 or 5 people who had purchased a package who are not citizens of the country. So it is very rare. If you are not a citizen of the country at the moment, we do believe they are giving first preference to citizens around the world. So once that is complete, then they may start to accept residents of the country. It's a new rule that Nusuk has brought out this year compared to last year. How if we paid Qurban through Nusuk, and how will they let us know by that time already done and we can that by SMS? Again, I do not know how Nusuk works. I do not know how they will be informing you. Maybe you can email Nusuk as well and find out how their Qurbani services work. I can only speak on behalf of our services. I do not know how the Qurbani service for Nusuk works. Next one, just checking if the brother and sisters began granted package as myself care. I'm still waiting. I've changed my wallets. Will I get a package or we just have to wait? We just have to wait to see at the moment. So nothing's been confirmed yet. We're just waiting for official news from Nusuk to let us know when the next stage might open. I'm checking daily Nusuk to see the package. You don't need to check daily. Don't need to constantly go log online. We do believe that they would announce it officially now. It's been this long. They will announce it officially is what we think. So no need to check daily. As long as you inform with our WhatsApp group, we'll send an urgent message through there if something does appear, but we aren't expecting it anytime soon. Also keep rejecting my reference. Just as I mentioned above, residents are currently not being accepted. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Where does the Adahi will be done in? It's in Mecca, or yes, of course, in Mecca. So your Adahi must be cut according to Sharia. For the Hajj must be sacrificed in the Haram area. So this is actually in Mina. There's a slaughterhouse there. That's where that will be done. So it has to be done in the Haram area, your Qurban's make. So it can't be, you can't just like get a cut in Africa and just let them know I finished my Hajj, cut my Qurban in Africa. No, it doesn't work like that. It has to be cut in the Haram area. If husband and wife in different accommodation, female and males will be together for tours and Hajj rituals. If husband and wife in different accommodation, I'm not too sure what referring to the different accommodation. So if you purchased a quad room and you're a husband and wife, then the brothers will be in one room and the sisters will be in one room. So we can't have two couples in one room in a quad room. It doesn't work like that. You'll be separated. In terms of Hajj rituals, yes, we'll be moving as a group, and you can stay with your partner as well during that as we go as a group. So I'm looking for group flights. Can you make sure will be changed or not if flight transit to Doha? Again, there's nothing confirmed at the moment, so nothing about the war hasn't been said yet. Are we able to call the group leader or each other through the device? I assume we can use Bluetooth headphones. Yes, yeah, no. So with that device, it's only your those 3.5 mil jacks, which will have to be entered into the device. Can't call through those devices. Obviously, you'll have your group leader's WhatsApp number. You can contact him through WhatsApp, message him. That will be done through WhatsApp, not through the devices. They're only for when the group leader is talking, he'll have the microphone and you can only hear him and listen to him. Whether flight has layover 2 hours or more will no. So as I said, 8 hours is the minimum. So 8 hours and above, there's hotel provided. I'm Australian citizen but rejected 3 times now. Please get in contact with Nusuk. So if you're an Australian citizen and you're registering from Australia, there shouldn't be any reason why it hasn't been accepted. It has to be done. Please contact Nusuk. In Mina, how much space will there be to store our belongings, carry-on bag size or smaller? So in Mina, if you look on our website, even we have photos, even on Nusuk, they provide photos as well. So there will be like top racks there. Obviously, there's not a space for everyone. If everyone brings like large luggages, then no, there won't be much space. But if everyone brings like small bags, you won't need too much stuff for Mina because you'll be in Ihram major of the time. You're not going to be dressing up in Mina. So you only need like basic necessities in Mina. So a small bag will be suffice and it'll be enough space for that again. So if you can even search this online, just write Mina camps, or if you're going to Majid al-Qabs is much more bigger and much more room you have. But in terms of Al-Muasim, it's more crowded areas. So the spaces might be a bit less. But again, you can look at these photos online or even on our website as well. We have this provided. Can we book hotel, transit, and flight connection from my city, Brisbane, to Melbourne for the group from now? Not too sure what this is referring to. I don't quite understand the question. Will towels be provided in Mina for showering? No, so you'll bring your own towel. Originally, Hisar was not doing Qurban. It was stated by Hisar, as I Hisar, that they will be informed if completed. Originally, Hisar was not doing Qurban. It was stated by Hisar that they will be informed if completed. I'm not too sure what this first is referring to. So before packages open for purchase, we did mention, we also sent a message as well. So yes, we are doing Qurbani services. Will we have sleeping bag for Muzdalifah? So there is this in Muzdalifah. They do provide a sleeping bag, but it's only such a limited amount. By the time you might get a sleeping bag, it might run out. You might be the one who gets the sleeping bag first. Don't rely on a sleeping bag. Look, you're not going to be there for too long. You're not going to be able to sleep for too long because you'll arrive there after Isha and you're going to leave just before, just as soon as Fajr goes and you pray Fajr and you start leaving. So there's not too much time to actually, go and have a nice, good sleep. Probably no sleep at all, most likely. But sleeping bag, it is provided, but there is very little, limited amount. So, maybe only enough for 60% of the people that come there. They don't provide it for everyone, unfortunately. SIM card provided or not. So Mawasim, on the packages, it does say there that SIM card is provided. How the SIM card provided, maybe it's going to be like a basic SIM card and you're going to have to top it up, or maybe they'll give you like a certain amount of minutes or a certain amount of gigabytes or something. We don't know exactly how this. The first time that Nusuk's going to be offering this, it wasn't there last year, so it's the first time. I really don't know exactly what to expect, but I would say don't rely on it. Definitely SIM cards don't cost like 15, 20 bucks. You can buy, 15 gigabyte for that journey. It'll be more than enough. How far in advance will we get to know if we are going to get transferred by? You'll get an email. So Nusuk will email you your train ticket, or they'll let you know that you'll be going by bus. So this will all be done from before you depart. Nusuk emails all this information to you. So that's it for the questions. I'll finish it off from here now. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you for joining. And inshallah has been a very beneficial seminar. Has been about an hour and a half now. We're providing the recording onto YouTube so you can have a look at it in your own time and go through it. And inshallah providing a link for our services initially for Infaq as well, and also for the Fazilet calendar, providing that to the group. If you have any further questions, please you can just message us through WhatsApp and we'll be able to get to you as soon as we can, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.